Welcome to Doncast Deep Dive, where we embark on journeys through albums for the ages. This series isn't just about music reviews. It's really a personal exploration of the records that have deeply shaped and inspired Don Phondeaux, a true creative force known for blending music, storytelling, and cultural expression with, introspective reflections and carefully curated soundscapes. These deep dives illuminate how music moves us through every season of life, acting as personal explorations of growth, nostalgia, and its timeless power. Today, for episode 3 of this incredible series, we're diving into a truly legendary run, BonafideBilli's #50Fans Mondays from 2015. Okay, so let's unpack this. When we talk about BonafideBilli's #50Fans Mondays, we're not actually talking about a traditional album release, are we? It sounds like something much more fluid and maybe almost experimental for the time.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that it was a legendary series rather than a conventional album. I mean, picture this. 9 consecutive Mondays back in 2015, and boom, a brand new track drops each week.
9 weeks straight.
Yeah. This unique, sort of episodic format was pretty groundbreaking then. And it was a huge factor in it becoming such a cult classic, really soundtracking a very specific time for a lot of people, Don Phondeaux included. It built up this incredible anticipation, totally different from just dropping a whole album at once.
Right, and what makes it even more intriguing, especially from Don's perspective, is how deeply this series marked him. I mean, it seems to have outlasted its original online presence.
Yeah.
He actually notes the music remains even after being, and this is his phrase, scrubbed from the internet.
It's a powerful statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that kind of digital disappearance, it often means music just fades away, becomes almost lost. But for Don, and clearly for a dedicated fan base, it just stuck. And that resilience, it highlights something crucial about art in this digital age we're in.
Like true connection defies the medium.
Kind of, yeah. True resonance can defy conventional distribution, even deletion sometimes. The fact that Don still hopes Billy releases this series properly on streaming platforms, almost a decade later.
A decade, wow.
It just underscores its enduring impact, right? And the lasting demand for that raw, original sound. It really speaks to music's power to transcend its initial format.
It certainly sounds deeply personal for Don. He calls #50Fans Mondays a time capsule. What exactly does he mean by that? What gives it that title for him?
Well, Don shares that nostalgia's been hitting him more often lately. You know how it is. It prompts him to revisit specific memories and the music that really set the tone for his days back then. He actually met Bonafide Billi in 2014 through his good friend Slushy's.
Okay.
Then in 2015, right as they were navigating their final year as student scholars, as Don puts it, he and Slushy's were eagerly waiting for those weekly track links. He said it was like they were gold.
Huh, I can imagine that shared anticipation.
Exactly. That weekly ritual, that shared discovery, it clearly cemented the series as this significant marker in his personal history. It captures the feeling of that specific time, the excitement, the friendships, and the whole vibe of their final academic year.
So definitely more than just background noise then. It sounds like it actively inspired them, pushed them.
Precisely. Don reveals Bonafide Billi didn't just impress him back in 2015. He genuinely inspired Don to, quote, perform at a higher level. Billi's skills, as a rapper, singer, and producer were just on full display, and the production throughout the series was apparently incredibly elite.
Wow.
So these tracks became the soundtrack, you could say, to Don and Slushy's final year. It fueled their excitement, so much so that they, quote, made sure to have enough data to download every Monday drop.
Dedication.
Absolutely. The music became part of their drive, and when the 9-week run ended, Don says they were just crushed. But looking back now, he sees it as perfect as it was, a complete impactful statement, an experience perfectly encapsulated in time.
It is fascinating how music can just lock in a specific moment like that. But if it was so impactful then, how does it hold up for Don today, listening almost 10 years later? What does revisiting it reveal?
Yeah, that's the real test, isn't it? Don reflects that listening now, the series still feels fresh. He finds the aggression and hunger are palpable, and the inspiration is undeniable. So it's not just nostalgia talking, it's a testament to the timeless quality of the music itself, that raw, unadulterated energy Bonafide Billi poured into every track.
Right, it speaks to a certain authenticity.
Exactly, something that doesn't really fade with time.
Okay, this brings us to a really interesting point Don made. He described the music as too good to be free, yet Bonafide Billi gave it away anyway. What's the deeper significance of that choice, especially back in the music landscape of 2015?
That's an excellent question. It really touches on an interesting moment in music distribution, doesn't it? Kind of that pre-streaming dominance era. Don sees it as, well, a strategic move, actually, one that ultimately paid off for Bonafide Billi.
How so?
Well, in an industry often obsessed with immediate cash, Billy chose to build goodwill, build a grassroots following, by offering this high-quality music freely. That kind of generosity can create a much deeper connection with listeners, turns them into real advocates, you know? And it certainly seemed to pay dividends. Billy later went on to produce for some prominent artists like Chad Didon, who's a big name in South African hip-hop and trap.
Okay, yeah.
So it really demonstrates the long-term value of building that loyal, engaged audience first.
Yeah.
It proves that sometimes early generosity can be a powerful launchpad for a career, kind of validates that build it and they will come idea in the digital space.
So not just a personal win for Billy, but maybe a broader example of how artistic hunger can, I don't know, reshape what success looks like.
Absolutely. If you zoom out, Don observes that the trap music Billy fed the streets, as he puts it. It resonated way beyond just him and Slars's. He highlights that hunger, that drive. It truly can be an incredibly powerful source of inspiration. It's about channeling that restless energy into art, letting persistence become its own reward.
That makes sense.
And the music itself, Don says, paints these vivid pictures of life in mid-city, you know, that vibrant urban scene often linked with a specific culture in South Africa. Trap music becomes the canvas. This genre, with its signature beats and often gritty narratives,
Right.
it serves as the backdrop for stories of ambition, the hunt for women and wealth, as Don notes, all delivered with what he calls top-tier lyricism and really powerful vocals. It feels like an authentic reflection of that striving, hustling mindset.
That raw energy, the authentic storytelling, it sounds incredibly compelling. Let's talk about some specific tracks. Did Don mention any particular ones that stood out when he revisited the series?
Oh, definitely. He offered some really insightful thoughts on several key tracks. First up, Lean in My Slushy. This was the one that kicked it all off, the series opener. Don describes it as both smooth and aggressive, with this distinctive, spooky kind of edge. He notes the drums hit incredibly hard.
Hard-hitting drums, yeah.
And Bonafide's passion on that track is just unmatched. It sets an immediate, unmistakable tone for everything that followed, like a real mission statement.
Gotcha. What else?
Then there's Who She Is. Apparently this one didn't hit Don right away when it first dropped, but now, years later, he finds himself singing along every single time.
Funny how that happens.
Isn't it? It's a tale of a sweet, almost enchanting siren, apparently. Features a, quote, thumping beat made for the club. It really showcases Bonafide's versatility, moving from that street aggression to more club-ready vibes.
Okay, versatile. Nice.
Then for the lyricism lovers, as Don calls them, he points to Beast Cannibal. This track, he says, is where Bonafide's aggressive, masterful rapping really takes center stage, but it's delivered over this mellow, almost haunting beat. Creates a really compelling contrast that highlights Billy's lyrical skill and storytelling. A real masterclass in flow.
Sounds intense.
Yeah. And Birds is another one, specifically one of Don's personal favorites. He notes that Bonafide really taps deep into authentic trapper lingo, that unique slang and style from the scene. He crafts what Don calls a ballad for a loyal trap queen.
Interesting. A trap ballad.
Yeah, and Don mentions some lines still kind of mystify him, which he feels just adds to its charm, its enigma, but he emphasizes the overall vibe is just undeniable. Captivating.
Cool. Any others?
One more he highlighted was Skhanda Queen. This one's notable because it's the second of 2 collabs on the series, featuring another artist, KLY. Don specifically remembers KLY's opening line as legendary. He actually quotes it. "You look kind of famous. I don't care, baby. Come and take 2 shots with a real one."
Okay, bold.
Right. Don describes the track as a sweet serenade for a siren, just brimming with audacity and charm. A perfect blend of both their styles, creating something really memorable, really infectious.
So taking all this in, the unique release, the personal connection for Don, the specific tracks,
Yeah.
what does it all boil down to? What are the big themes, the lasting takeaways from #50Fans Mondays, especially through Don Phondeaux's eyes?
Well, at its core, the series, as Don interprets it, is fundamentally about that relentless drive. It's about hunger, ambition, and importantly, the art of persistence, even when things are tough. It really serves as this powerful blueprint for channeling that restless, raw energy into creating timeless music. Or really, any kind of impactful art. It's not just what you create, but the sheer force of will you put behind it.
And it feels like it's more than just the music itself, isn't it? Like a reminder about the power, the endurance of what we create and put out there.
It absolutely is. This whole deep dive serves as a potent reminder, really. Even when specific memories start to fade or, even if digital footprints get scrubbed, the music itself and the inspiration it provides, that can remain deeply embedded in our lives, influencing our paths forward. Don kind of distills the wisdom from this whole experience to a very clear, direct message for you, the listener.
That's how.
He says, if you sleep first, you eat last. Stay up, stay grinding, and let the art speak for itself.
It's a real rallying cry, isn't it? For
Yeah.
sustained effort and just authentic creation. Wow. If you sleep first, you eat last. That definitely sticks with you. This deep dive really makes you think about the soundtracks of our own lives, doesn't it? What series, or maybe what album, has truly soundtracked a special time in your life? We'd genuinely love for you to share your story, or perhaps your favorite track from that period. Thank you for joining this Doncast Deep Dive into albums for the ages. For more stories, playlists, and reflections, you can always visit the Don's domain at donphondeaux.com. And don't forget to check out compilations from Adon. That's where you'll find more curated journeys through sound and story. Enjoy loudly, stay sound.